Good evening, my dear friends. Welcome to another late night stream of mine. And this time we are doing U-boat again. So it has been a few days. So yesterday there was no stream. I had to get up very early this morning. And the other days I did some other thing, which was, Xenonauts. Hey, Hazels, nice to have you in. Good evening. Hope you're fine. Yeah, we are almost through the week. Just Friday ahead of us. Yip yip. Hey, great to have you in. Good evening, or better, good afternoon. How are you doing? Yeah, being busy is not a bad thing, is it? Okay. So that sounds like you were a bit kind of more busy than you wished you would. Look, by the way, look at the distribution of the smoke. So it pretty much looks like they're heading more or less straight towards us. On the right flank, the smoke is moving outward. Here, the smoke, or not the smoke, but the ships seem to be moving outward. Yeah. Herr Kaloyan, yes, exactly. Yeah, 2 streams ago we were so lucky to have that hydrophone contact, and then it took us another stream to bring us into this nice position. And now my only fear is I'm so nicely ahead of that convoy, so there remain only 2 risks. The one is that it suddenly might turn around onto another leg of their course. The other is that one of the escorts might be heading straight for me. And it looks a bit like this is the case. Yeah, okay, so, yeah. Sleep always helps. This is, well, one of the best medicines, actually. Not that I want to get rid of you in the stream, it's a pleasure to have you. But, yeah, don't hesitate, and, yeah. When you're not well, yeah, whatever it is, a cold or something, getting some sleep is good medicine, yep. So let's take a look through the periscope. We still have sufficient light, and hey, come on, guys. That's military, isn't it? That's a big, bad military guy. So maybe I should turn around and go 90 degrees south. There is a guy which looks pretty military-like heading straight for us. So we are going that way at the moment. So let's go straight 90 degrees around. Might be that they hear me. Maybe they hear me. Yeah, maybe I should have gone to silent running since long. There we go, change course. Oh no, we are being pinged already. So that was not a good try of infiltration. Yeah, do silent running. Somebody's gonna turn off the gyro. blue light indicates to the crew that silent running is the word. We have more water in the bilge than I would like to have at the beginning of an adventure, but yeah, it's completely uncritical. Okay, that guy is missing maintenance, but now that I'm doing silent running, it's good not to do any maintenance, because this is just too noisy probably. Now can we get some information from the hydrophone? There's guys closing in. And they're only just a mile away or something. This is pretty risky now what I'm doing. So that contact should be at 9 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, 90 degrees. I'm pretty careful not to poke. Not to poke the periscope too far up. I want to have it undiscovered. That's the guy, is he? Unknown ship, it says. But I thought it pretty much looked like military. Pretty big man of war, I wager. They pinged me. Yeah, that's a large destroyer, or even a cruiser. Or is this even a battleship? That's pretty much of a big guy.
Zerstörer, 140 Grad.
Yeah. But he is at least not going after us at the moment. So it might have been a good idea to turn around. And the twilight at the moment is pretty comfortable because it kind of hides us. At least I hope that in the twilight the periscope is more or less invisible. Maybe I may dare to poke it up a little bit further. So where is this big guy? Yeah, that's pretty much of a bad-ass man of war. What do you think, guys? Is it a battleship even? Has been a while since I encountered a battleship.
Bleibt wachsam, aber keine Panik. Wir machen das schon.
That's not good. Not good, not good. Where are the escorts?
80 Grad.
And that's not good, being constantly pinged. There is a guy. There is a guy. At 50 degrees. sounds so very close.
Handelschef, 85 Grad.
That guy. They're firing. They're firing flares. Problem is that in the light of the flares, maybe
Zerstörer, 130
periscope
Grad.
becomes visible. That guy might be turning in on us. What about the condition of the stern torpedoes? Okay, well, not convinced about the maintenance status, so please give a maintenance to number 5 quickly. Where is that guy? Shit. Look, the guy's turning in on us. Am I fast enough with the maintenance of the torpedo? I fear that I am not. I think I am too slow. He is gonna be upon us before we will have done the maintenance. Shall we go flank?
Äußerste Kraft voraus.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger um.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Auf maximale, sichere Tiefe gehen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter. Zerstörer 325 Grad.
He's straight there, so let's turn around to dive underneath him. That's gonna be a risk. I couldn't see if he has this new groundhog or whatever the name is of that weapon. I'm not sure whether this is a good idea what I'm doing here.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Guys, everybody for battle stations, please.
Verstanden, Herr Kommandant.
Schadensbericht. Schaden am Turm.
In der Zentrale.
Hey, what was that? We didn't even hear anything.
Schadensbericht.
Oh, there we are.
Horchgerät nicht mehr einsatzbereit.
Oh shit.
Ist beschädigt.
So I would say he gave me quite a beating. Oh shit. That was probably that new technology. Look at that. No chance. We can't repair all that stuff. Close the bulkheads. Repair.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Guys, repair the holes, please.
Verstanden. Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Kommandant.
Oh, this is just too much damage. I don't think that we can actually Survived that. Guys, turn on the pump, please. Just too much coming in.
Halbe Fahrt voraus. Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Zielsraum repariert. Höhenbruch in der Zentrale repariert.
Oh my god. The pump is running. We just have too much water. Unbelievable. We would have to blow the tanks. Can we?
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger um.
Okay, guys, we need to blow the tanks, or we are just going down too deep. Yeah. Okay, we did repair the leaks, but we're just having too much water.
Postgerät wieder einsatzbereit.
Blowing all the tanks, please. Get the water out. Get us the water out. Looks like we are too deep already. That doesn't have any much effect. We can't hold it. We can't hold it. That's it. Yeah. A lot of things being repaired, but just too late. Yeah, that was probably the hedgehog. Pretty sure that this guy fired a salvo of hedgehogs towards us. Yeah, we just couldn't operate against the pressure. We are not getting the water out. We are not getting the water out. We are dying. Okay, guys. Last prayers. It was an honor to serve with you. Alright. That was it. But yeah, that was my own fault. I was just... Yeah, I should have dived much earlier. When I saw that the guy was heading towards us. Yeah, luckily I am not that hardcore that I say I wouldn't reload. So let's load the old one. Here we are, and continue at that point. I always hate to reload the game, but in such a situation I just wouldn't start the whole campaign anew. Yeah, that was the hedgehog. That's pretty badass, actually. I actually made several mistakes. So first mistake was I didn't go on to silent running right away. Let's do that right now. And I was maintaining high speed for too long. Let's also to do this better this time. And now see what we can actually do. And although being on silent running, maybe I should still... Should I? Work on the torpedoes. I'm just afraid that it would make too much noise if I would do the torpedo maintenance right now.
Handelsschiff, 355 Grad. Zerstörer, 30 Grad. Zerstörer, 35 Grad. Handelsschiff, 15 Grad.
They might be heading straight for us, like that at the moment. I think. So let's change course just a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure this guy, it looks so large, but I think it's still no battleship. Might be a cruiser.
Tanker, 35 Grad.
Wow. Of course, that would be nice. To go for a tanker. But under these conditions and playing almost maximum difficulty level, what I'm doing here is relatively tough. Target is okay, that's pretty amazing.
Handelsschiff, 40 Grad.
Maybe I should just go silent and wait it out and see if they would just pass by.
Tanker, 30 Grad.
Oh, nice. Nice, nice. Just afraid about that guy. I think this is this military one, which has already scared me on the last try. That's an escort for sure. Yeah, the nationality doesn't matter when they are in such a military convoy. I can't sink just any of them.
Handelsschiff, 10 Grad. Zerstörer, direkt voraus.
Okay, good to know.
Handelsschiff, 15 Grad.
doesn't emit any smoke. So is it not a steamer, but a diesel driven? Let's just hope that we can do it better this time. New stream, new save. 328. Give it a save. I think this is a pretty large guy. It seems so close, but pretty sure that he's just very large.
Handelschef, 45 Grad.
Pretty much like to go for one of them. But this guy is still heading more or less straight for us, which is not good. Yeah, come on, let's retract the periscope for a little while. Wow, the discipline's pretty down to 86%. Yeah, I have fatigue level of 12. So, well, having discipline of 86% at the beginning of the battle, that's risky. But yeah, it can't be helped at the moment. Battery capacity at 90%, well, also not the best condition, but okay. Yeah, we have 3 different types of food, but this doesn't completely counter the fatigue, the debuff in discipline due to fatigue. So let's just give it a bit of time acceleration. And see how does it look after 5 minutes. Yeah, the light conditions of course are deteriorating.
Handelschef, 40 Grad.
That would be a good guy to sink.
Handelschef, 50 Grad.
Okay, that's the big one. And I don't know. It could be a battleship. So this is exactly what Colin, what you said, that these convoys in the Nordic area, that they are often accompanied by a complete military task force, and this is looking pretty much like that. So let's see if we could go in for one of these. But probably too far away at the moment. That one is passing too far away. That's escort? No. Is this the escort?
Zerstörer.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
345 Grad.
whoa. That guy is close.
355 Grad.
That guy is close. Let's just hope that he passes by. Let's retract the periscope. And let's change the course a bit back to this course. And keep fingers crossed that this guy is not detecting us. That was really close.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Can't be that there is a contact just 1 mile away. So at this time I should start maintaining my torpedoes, but I just don't dare because that Evil Knievel escort ship is so close. Where is he? Along with this little cheating to go to the scenic view, at least at the moment it looks like he's just pacing ahead, not changing course towards us. No!
Das wird nicht einfach. Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben.
Who is that? Who has spotted us? Come on, I have retracted the periscope. How could it be that somebody has spotted us? Of course, the other answer could be that there is other German submarines around and they have been spotted. Hey, I can't believe that under this illumination they detected us. I can't believe that. And we are not being pinged. At the moment it still doesn't look like they're changing course for us. So why are they sounding alarm? Maybe just for another German submarine. Yeah, back then communication was pretty bad. Hey, not wet, just cold. Guten Abend, good evening. It's a pleasure to have you again. How are you doing? Yeah, as I said before, we are almost through the week, just Friday ahead of us, separating us from the weekend. Could they actually spot us?
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
That's a big guy over there. It might be. Yeah, I won't attack that one. There is a... Is it a battleship? No. Maybe it is, but maybe not. At least it's a pretty big guy. Again, alarm being rung. That guy is actually firing flare, obviously. Did he spot me? To be honest, right now it pretty much looks like that the guy has spotted me. Yeah, and he seems to be turning in on us.
Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter.
Korvette, direkt voraus.
Oh no.
Korvette, 350 Grad.
Come on. Well, there is just too much escort. How should I get in and kill these guys? Destroyer 60 degrees, it said.
Korvette, 20 Grad. Tanker, 25 Grad.
Wow. Shall we go for that one?
Kurs setzen.
Three, four. Maintain number 3. And please maintain number 4. Oh no.
Korvette 5 Grad.
Oh shit. That sounds pretty real. I would like to take a shot at that guy. Don't know if I can. Shall we give it another save? Just to be on the safe side. 329. Velocity 7, I guess. Angle on bow. At the moment, I would say something like so. They are more or less dead ahead of us. There's something like there, and when they are moving on a course like that, the angle on bow would be 70 degrees. Could be. Now let's take an estimate on the distance. What type of ship? What type of ship is it? Okay, it's the one with the little thing there. Now I can give the distance an estimate, and it should be something like that.
Aktualisieren.
1 mile.
Entfernung zum Ziel 1,862 Meter.
I think we could now challenge a shot. Let's take a look at the torpedoes. 3, 4, 5. No, no, no. Please. Please don't give us this. All right, so we are gonna give it. What's the depth? 8.9, so go to 9.5 of depth.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
Magnetic.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
And I need you at the torpedo calculator. Come on, give it to me.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren.
Do it.
Geschwindigkeit 7 Knoten. Winkel 8, 5 rechts.
Wasserbomben, sehr nah.
Los. Rohr 2 bewässern. Kabelsberechtigt. Höhenbruch in der Zentrale. Los.
Shit.
Auf maximale, sichere Tiefe gehen.
Wow, not good, guys. Okay, guys. Yeah, they got us again.
Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg. Zentrale repariert. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedo erscheint.
Okay, again.
E-Maschinenraum repariert. Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter. Schwere Schäden. Ich brauche Hilfe. 30 Sekunden. E-Maschinenraum repariert. 90 Meter.
Okay, and they are working on the leaks.
Feindliches Schiff getroffen.
Crew strained and stressed.
Torpedoraum geschlagen.
Leak fixed.
Schwere Schäden. Aktuelle Tiefe 110 Meter. Wasserkühlung. Sehr nah.
Mr. Strauss. Edward Strauss has managed to stabilize Cullen's outlook, but due to a broken arm, you won't be able to work. Okay. Get things done, please, and get the leak stopped. Close the bulkheads.
Tiefe 150
We have taken too much water, probably. We have stopped the leaks, haven't we? We just have too much water in.
Aktuelle Tiefe 190 Meter.
Blow the tanks, let's see. Yeah, when you once have too much water, it's lost effort.
210 Meter. Schadensberechtigt. Luke beschädigt.
We are not gonna do it again. Oh, come on. This is gonna become pretty tough now. We are going down and we are not blowing the tanks. Just a bit. Can we stop it? Nah. All ballast tanks are empty, they say. It's not. It's not.
Wieder einsatzbereit.
Oh boy, again. So this convoy is pretty tough. Yeah, but it's a military task force, just anything. Yeah, decoy. Yeah. Yeah, I was a bit of asking for it. I got all the ping signals, and I still just continued the attack. Might still be that we maybe have sunk that guy, but unclear. So silent running. close the bulkheads. And let's see that we just change course. Right, military, very close.
5 Meter.
Are you? Velocity 7, I guess. Oh. And the angle on bow at the moment. Give me a guess on the distance.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 1904 Meter.
Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter. Kommandant, wir wurden von Esther geortet.
Okay, we are being pinged. Let's give it another estimate of the distance.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung 1820 Meter. Navigation besetzen.
No, don't go for the... That guy is closing in on us. It is...
Rohr 1 bewässern.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Rohr 3 bewässern.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Come on, give us a gyro angle.
Los. Rohr 4 bewässern.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Esther geortet.
Yeah, they are getting us right now.
Rohr 4 bewässert.
Los. Rohr 2 bewässern.
Give me this one and then we are gonna move away.
Rohr 2 bewässert.
Los. Auf maximale, sichere Tiefe gehen. Kurs auf unsere Koordinaten setzen.
Let's see if we can get away this time. Alarm.
Auf Gefechtsstation.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Ja, Kommandant, ich komme noch nicht nach.
Ja.
50 Meter. Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Verstanden, Kommandant. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedo-Einschlag. Der
That's
Torpedo ist auf halbem
Let's see if we get a hit.
Von Estik geortet.
We were, yeah.
20 Sekunden. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. 80 Meter. 30 Sekunden. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
Yeah, but
20 Sekunden.
might have been a bad guess of the distance. Might have been a bad guess of the distance.
Tiefe. 90 Sekunden bis
That was pretty far. Usually I don't fire on a mile distance. It's a miss, yeah. Probably a few misses.
Schneller, schneller. Folgen Sie mir.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich drum.
Yeah, propellers straight above us. At least we tried. And at least at first glimpse we got away, but this tough stuff is still gonna come probably. Discipline's already not as good as I would have liked it to be.
Aktuelle Tiefe 135 Meter.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, this is actually a hardcore convoy
140 Meter.
with military man of war escort.
Meter.
Ja,
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kollege?
Kurs setzen.
No, don't.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Ja,
Yeah, the hedgehog. They're really putting the hedgehog into action by now. It's May 43, and the hedgehog is kind of a game changer. Only thing is, what I don't feel to be quite realistic is that obviously you don't hear the hedgehog hitting the surface. We have all that front up warning from the depth charges being dropped, but no front up warning of the hedgehogs. Neither that you hear the shot being fired nor them hitting the surface, and this is actually something that I feel to be a bit unrealistic. The hedgehogs being fired, that explosion, that charge should be heard. The report of these launches, they should be heard in the submarine with the hydrophone, and as well when these kind of mortar grenades, or however you would call it, when they hit the surface, this should also be detected. And then they still take a little while to sink down. So if you ask me, my gut feeling is that in this game they are more deadly than they might have been in reality. At least, like, well,
Aktuelle Tiefe 150 Meter.
you just recognize that you're being hedgehogged when you have the explosions on your hull. And I think you should get some pre-warning still. It can't be that the U-boat crews wouldn't have recognized a hedgehog to be fired. So it pretty much looks like that none of the torpedoes actually did hit the target. Okay, so there might be other submarines around when they are dropping depth charges in considerable distance. Let's do a bit of cinematic view. Here we are. Looks a bit like they have lost our... Is this guy dropping depth charges? Maybe on a colleague. Yep. Seems like he's looking for another submarine. Shall we? Let's give it a save, actually. And maybe we should give it a try and get back to the surface.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 180 Meter. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Colon? Nummer 9.
so noisy still.
Kommandant, wir wurden entdeckt.
Oh no.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy? 80 Meter.
Okay, hi, that pretty much looks like there is a...
65 Meter.
Nah, come on. Guys. That pretty much looks like that there is an escort lurking right above us.
Meter.
It's this one. Definitely so bad idea to surface. Oh, come on, that convoy is so heavily guarded. Looks like there's no chance of getting a score here. Yeah, but let's see. I'm gonna be back in a minute.
Tauchen auf 120
Yeah, let's go even a bit deeper.
85 Meter.
Let's go even a bit deeper. Wow. Quite a lot of warships up there. Escorts. At least we got a new torpedo into tube 2. Wow. There must be some ship right above us. Let's just hope that they have no idea that we are right underneath them. Yeah, the guys are not yet strained and stressed, so it's still under control. Psychologically, but I think this will soon change. With the discipline being down to 85%, which is not completely critical, but it will make the crew
Wir wurden entdeckt.
get to being stressed.
Männer.
Probably much earlier.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Verstanden, Herr Kommandant.
Yeah, actually I have all the off-watch crew now assisting the officers in damage control and command. Yeah, maybe that convoy was a bit too tough. At least we got away. We fired 3 torpedoes on 1 transport, but obviously all of them did miss. It was from too far away. I fired the torpedoes on a mile distance, and usually I try to fire torpedoes on something like 800 or 600 yards. Yeah, my estimate of the speed of their ships might have been alright. Probably the distance and the angle on bow was just not precise enough. That's
120 Meter.
just a very tough convoy. But at the moment, at least, we are not being pinged. Maybe they don't know where we are. They had been dropping a lot of depth charts quite some distance away, so what I guess is that there is another German submarine attacking at the same time and they're going for them. Yeah, on that first try I was just giving it too much risk. In real life you wouldn't have done that, you would have dived away when you saw that destroyer coming in.
Kommandant, wir wurden entdeckt.
Wir wissen, wie es geht. Drehen wir den Spieß gegen diese Jäger um.
So why?
Tauchen auf 130 Meter.
The gyro compass is turned off to minimize our sound profile. The dive planes are to manual. Turning off the electric support. Also minimizing our acoustical profile. The crew is to silent running. That's what, yeah, the blue light is actually indicating the crew that Silence is paramount. Almost 100 liters in the bilge. Yeah, that's not critical, but that's more than I feel comfortable with. Yeah, oxygen is still alright with 86%. And this discipline at least didn't drop considerably.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Convoy?
High speed closing in. This is a man of war for sure. Yeah, I still want to have one engineering officer with 2 crewmates ready at the engines, at the electric engines, so that whenever necessary I could just go to flank speed. Yeah, there is fast propellers noise up there.
Wasserbomben! Sehr nah!
Oh no, come on. Not that.
Kurs setzen.
Don't give me that, please.
Tauchen auf. 150 Meter.
There was no ping, no nothing.
Aktuelle Tiefe 130 Meter.
Yeah, that sounds a bit away. And this definitely camouflages our being on flank speed.
Wasserbomben! Sehr nah!
They still say
Sehr nah!
it's pretty close. Ah. Come on, fingers crossed that they don't hit us.
Aktuelle Tiefe 145 Meter.
Tauchen auf. 120 Meter. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, that was lots of depth charges, but they have lots of escorts, so I expect that they can drop a lot upon me. Allow me to be AFK just for 30 seconds. Alright, back again. I'm changing depth now and then. Yeah, there is this kind of trade-off. The deeper you go, the safer you are from being depth charged, but the more, water you take over the time. Like, look at the amount of water in the bilge. It's over 100 liters by now, and the faster you go, the more water seeps in through the drive shaft, and the deeper you go, the more water seeps in through the drive shaft and all the gaskets. So this is why I think it's not reasonable to be something like 150, 160 meters all the time.
115 Meter.
Yeah, listen to the sound of the propellers. I'm not sure, but I think it's getting louder.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Zerstörer, 100 Grad.
Yeah, let him be on 100 degrees, which would be there.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
High speed closing in. So this guy might be military. I High speed closing in, yeah. Yeah, it's really getting harder and harder later in the war. But, well, that's pretty nice that they have this evolution. The Allied tactics improve, the Allied equipment improve. And so, at the moment, I pretty much feel like I don't stand a chance against that convoy. Okay, change course 90 for 90 degrees and flank speed. Get us away underneath these drop depth charts. Maybe they're just giving it a guess. Let's hope that they don't have a clear reading on us. Just giving it a lucky shot, hopefully. Let's get a little bit deeper just to be on the safe side. Although going deeper doesn't necessarily make you feel more safe. All of these depth charts being very close. We are at 130 meters. Getting deeper.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Wasserbomben, sehr nah.
Schneller.
They're still dropping. They're still dropping on us.
Geben Alarm.
No, come on.
Tauchen auf 130 Meter.
Let's just hope Okay, some distance away, depth charge, which indicates that they are probably depth charging also another German submarine. Yeah, let's keep fingers crossed for these comrades. Well, this is tough. Allow me to be AFK for 1 more minute.
130 Meter.
Okay, thanks for your patience. I'm back. Now, let's see what they are up to. Mm, 150 liters in the bilge. Oxygen level, it's alright. So maybe when I next get depth charged, I should turn on the pump in parallel. They just wouldn't hear it.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
When they're right above us, their own propellers and their firing depth charge would just camouflage our own noises. So this is the point where it just doesn't matter. We can go flag, we can turn on the pumps. Okay.
Aktuelle Tiefe 125 Meter.
That is not the situation that we have right now. Go for 30.
Auf 130 Meter.
Alright. There was a ping. lost us again. Let's keep fingers crossed. But yeah, while the convoy is still passing above us, they just wouldn't leave us alone, I guess. But let's do the cinematic view for a moment. Hey, weight loss, good evening. Back in the dark grey steel coffin. Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
Kommandant, hier wurden Verdächtige ortet.
And at the moment it looks more like that than ever. There is an enormously large convoy passing by and loads of escorts. And oh yeah, so pretty much looks like that the convoy. It's just a few ships. It's just a few convoy merchantmen, and there is big battleships around. Or I don't know. I'm not quite sure if what I saw was a battleship or maybe just a cruiser. But yeah, quite some men of war around, and not only the usual escorts. It's late in the war, yeah. Yeah, the destroyer screens are getting really crazy, yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6, 7, 8. It's incredible. And yeah, the merchant part, they have already passed. Those ships which I would actually like to sink, they have long passed, and still these escorts are still chasing me down. But let's just hope that sooner or later they are gonna leave me alone. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna sink any merchant of that convoy. It was just too well protected. In the beginning I fired 3 torpedoes on 1 merchantman, but they all missed, and I quickly had to dive away because of incoming escorts. It's really getting tough.
Schraubengeräusche direkt über
depth charges
150 Meter.
being dropped. Let's go flank. Yeah, now we can actually turn on the pump. Nobody would hear it. Their propellers are right above us and they are going pretty fast. They're dropping depth charge, so nobody would hear us turning on the pumps or going to flank speed. Yeah, that's not too far away. Yep. Very close. Oh, come on. Fingers crossed that they just don't get us. That looks very close. Yeah. Close astern. Yep. That's really not too far away. They're still dropping on us. Oh, come on. Ah, that's too bad.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Längspumpe ausschalten.
How much water did we get out? Okay. We reduced it by half. Again. Oh, there. Nah, come on. Shall we?
20 Meter.
Schneller, schneller. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Längspumpe einschalten.
When they're dropping like hell, we could still turn on the pumps.
150 Meter.
Yeah, battery capacity is still alright. Air quality 80% is alright. Discipline 84. Well, okay, we can live with it.
Wasserbomben. Sehr nah.
Emma, still. What? There are loads of ships up there dropping on us. W 331. Better safe than sorry. The bilge is dry, so guys, turn off the pump, please. At least we achieved that.
Kleine voraus.
Wasserbomben. Sehr nah.
Oh, come on.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Let's change the depth now and then.
Tauchen auf 125 Meter.
Yeah, do it.
Schraubengeräusche. Kleine Bomben. Peilung 170 Grad. Schraubengeräusche. Direkt über uns. Kommandant, wir wurden entdeckt.
Das wird
Who are we?
aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben. Tauchen auf 150 Meter. Tauchen auf 150 Meter. Tauchen auf 150 Meter.
Sorry. They're still pretty close above us. Ah, that was an incredible convoy. Oh no, again. They're still pinging us. Yeah, alright. So then, that's what it is at the moment. Already accumulating water in the bilge again. It's uncritical. But yeah, warning me all the less. Pings and pings. Yeah, we are pinged by Aztec. Hey guys, your convoy is moving on. Sooner or later you're just gonna have to leave me alone. Lots of contacts. Yeah. But we didn't sink a single ship up to now. And at the moment it pretty much looks like we are not gonna sink any ship of that convoy. It's just too heavily guarded. And even if we survive this chase, I think we won't turn around and intercept that convoy again. Yeah, alright. So now we are improving air quality. Let's see. I hope that I can confuse them by changing depths regularly. Don't know if this is effective. They are dropping like hell. Oh, come on. Lots of escorts moving up there. So come on, please turn off the ventilation. Yeah, thank you.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Aktuelle Tiefe 135 Meter.
They're really giving us hell. Oh, come on, come on.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Again. We're still being pinged. Hey guys, don't you have to return to your convoy? Just leave us alone. Pinged again. Yeah, we are still being tracked by them. Ah, come on, sooner or later They just have to leave us alone and stick to their convoy. But we are still alive. They are firing flares constantly. Yeah, we were detected by Aztec. Yeah. They're really getting better and better with that.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle. Herr Kapitän?
Yeah, come on, I just want to get away alive. The convoy has passed by upon us. On top of us. How would you call it? On the surface. Since long. So no chance for us to sink any of these guys.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
And they're still chasing us. In the past, it was always like, after a while, the escort would just join their convoy again
Direkt über uns.
and leave us alone.
Kurs setzen.
But they are still chasing and chasing us. And loads of contacts.
Quelle-Tiefe 150.
And I guess that at the moment there are still something like 5, 6 or 7 men of war being up there chasing us. for another minute. How long are they going after us? Yeah, lots of illumination. Two, three. Yeah, looks like there are still three of them going after us. Four. Oh, that's pretty tough. While all the convoy is moving on, they can still afford to send four guys chasing us. At least they don't have a hedgehog. Do they have? No, they haven't.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
Wenn es nur das gibt. Hinter dem Schuss gibt es.
They have a hedgehog. Neither. No,
Geräusche direkt über uns.
they do have a hedgehog.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Schneller, schneller.
There is one of the four escorts up there, and they have a hedgehog. Come on. Fingers crossed that they don't get us. That was close. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, plenty of escort ships. Sorry for the munching noise. Just had to get a bit of a late night snack.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Yeah, let them do it. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing, I would say. That convoy was so heavily guarded that, well, we fired on one merchantman. We fired 3 torpedoes on one merchantman, but that was so much ad hoc that not a single torpedo did find its target. And now we have something like 4 or 5 escorts on our tail, trying to chase us down, while the convoy itself is quietly pacing on unmolested. Okay, some distance away. That's always kind of indicating that there might be another German submarine under attack. But you can never say. It might just be that they mistook your position and just started to drop far away. Alright, hey guys, I just saw the number of watches going up. So, yeah, don't fear or worry. I'm just seeing the numbers. I have no idea who you are,
Kommandant, wir wurden entdeckt.
and it's perfectly fine if you just lurk and watch. But of course, let me just mention that you could make a little streamer like me a little bit more happy if you would, yeah, take part in the communication. So give me feedback of what you think about the game. Are you playing yourself or are you just watching it? Are you thinking about buying the game, or what do you think about the stream? Just any remark is pretty much welcome, but don't feel pushed. Perfectly fine if you just watch and lurk. Just having a few guys in the stream watching makes me pretty happy just as well. Yeah, we are being chased at the moment. There is still something like, let's say, at least 4 escorts up there. Yeah, let's get to the cinematic view and take a little look at what's going on up there. Of course, some people would call that cheating, but yeah, I would just call it cinematic view. Even though I love to play the game on almost maximum difficulty level, I'm still happy to use this cinematic view now and then. Oh. Oh, come on, still so many escorts chasing for me. Oh, come on. That's just terrible.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
yeah, guys, as I said, nice to have you in. So, any comment what you think about the game would be great. No. Yeah, let me comment on it. I would say this is actually the best U-boat simulation we ever got. Yeah, I'm not being paid by the developers. That's just my serious and true opinion about the game. Pretty great. Yeah, we never had this feeling before, like that. Yeah, that you're not just commanding a machine, but that you're really commanding a crew, and the crew is finally operating on the machine. This is a nice feeling that you really get fostered here in U-boat. And yeah, the crew is still not strained and stressed, but Splinter's approaching something like 80%. Water in the bilge is approaching 100 liters. Yeah, but well, it's all okay at the moment. Still, it just looks like we can't shake off that escort chasing us at the moment. Yeah, at the moment, this is. Oh shit, yeah. This is about survival at the moment. This is not about sinking enemy ships. This is just survival. And the question is, do we get away with this? I'm not gonna go after that convoy once more. That was just too well protected. Let's just hope that we find some less protected convoys somewhere in the future. Maybe somewhere more further in the north. Yeah, we will see, but pretty tough. But yeah, as I said, best U-boat simulation ever, and this dynamics in the campaign is just great. How more and more difficult it becomes to fight against the allies because they are getting more and more skilled, having better and better kind of zigzag tactics and things like that, and finally really getting better weapons like the hedgehog. Now it looks it's quieting down a bit. maybe we are getting away like that. No detection reported for a few minutes. Quite a bit of water in the bilge, yep. Yeah, are we gonna get away? They're still firing flares up there. Oh no, we are gonna get pinged again. Ah, well, hey, great. Just in the moment when we got that ping, Mr. Batman was giving us a follow. Thank you very much. That's too kind of you. Very much appreciated. Thanks a lot for the follow. Thanks. Hey, Captain Jimbot. Hey, nice evening. Nice to have you in, Captain Jimbo. That's a pleasure to have you. Thanks a lot. Well, things are getting pretty tough here in May 1943. So I ran into a convoy, tried to infiltrate it, but yeah, it was pretty tough. So I think that convoy was accompanied by a full complement of men of war. There might even have been what was it? I think, it might even have been a battleship, not quite sure. And lots of escorts, and right now they are chasing me. I just had the opportunity to fire 3 torpedoes at 1 merchantman, and I missed. And then I had to dive and get away. And now they are chasing me since a while. So usually in the past it was like just after a while the escort would just stopping chasing me because they would have to get back to the escort. Let's go flank and change course again for 90 degrees. So just after a while, usually the escort stops chasing submarines and returns to the convoy, protecting it. But these guys, I think there are still something like 5, 6, 7 ships, men of war, escorts, being up there trying to track us down while the convoy has long moved on. So I think there is still plenty of ships sticking to the convoy.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
So Jimbo, did you bring Uncle Bot? Is he with you? Yeah, they did drop dozens of depth charges, yep. Uncle Bot, hello, are you there? Would be a pleasure to have you in the stream again. Yeah, Captain Jimbo, thank you a lot. That boosted the number of viewers again for my little stream here.
Schraubengeräusche direkt über uns.
Schneller.
Yeah, whenever I have
Wir wurden entdeckt.
propeller noises right above us, I just go something like 90 degrees course change, go for flying speed. Yeah, maybe he just listened to the streams to just, yeah. It's kind of, yeah, going to sleep. I just try to remember. So there was this little fight about, I think, British English and US English. And Captain Jimbo, I think you were from the US and Mr. Bot was from Britain, or was it the other way around? Oh, okay. You all right? So you weren't streaming UBOAT. Oh, hey, sorry a lot. So I mixed it up actually. So you are the Englishman. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Forgive me that. So you've been playing Sea of Thieves before. So how is it going? It's actually multiplayer, isn't it? So is it really PvP? Ah, okay. You mean... Yeah, alright. I've been shortly dropping into Sea of Thieves, I think, a while ago. So was it 8 bots or was it actually 8 other players? Are you actually wreaking havoc upon other players? Wow, we are taking a lot of all people, alright? And you say some of them played like bots, yeah. We are being pinged again. They're really tough. They're just not leaving us alone. Their quality is alright. Discipline is still okay-ish. And we still have plenty of battery capacity because most of the time we are just going slow speed. And just now and then going to flank. But I think when another destroyer might be passing above us, I would just turn on the pump again. Propellers. So guys, somebody turn on the pump please to get the water out of the bilge while they are just passing by above us. Their own propeller would camouflage any of our noises, I hope. Yeah, we are being pinged. Allow me to be AFK for one more minute. Yeah, at the beginning of tonight's stream, I really thought we would be kicking some asses. We were in a beautiful position right in front of that convoy, and the whole convoy spreading in front of us. But yeah, well, then it turned out that that convoy was very heavily guarded, and it was the other way around. They are kicking our asses, actually.
Kleine Fahrt raus. Lenzpumpe ausschalten.
We are being pinged again. We are being pinged again. Two, 3, 4, 5. So at least 5 ships still cruising on top of us.
Kommandant, wir wurden von SD geortet.
We are being pinged again. Okay, this is the guy where the front gun is being replaced with the Hedgehog. Yeah, they are pinging us. Yep, they are. They are pretty nasty. And yeah, what I said before, I think the hedgehogs are even tougher than they would have been in real life, because you don't hear them being fired, but you should. I mean, the explosion propagates through the hull of that escort into the water, and we should well hear them being fired. And there should be some kind of characteristics which would make us recognize that it's a hedgehog being fired. Next, we should hear them hitting the surface. So this is what I think is a bit unrealistic, that you don't hear anything of the hedgehogs until they actually hit your hull and yeah, kind of perforate your outer hull. And yeah, I kind of like that they make the game more challenging, but still I think it's not 100% realistic. Exactly, that many splashes would be noticeable when they hit the surface, and even when they're being fired. That explosions should be noticeable. But in the game there is just nothing. You only hear, the first thing that you hear about the hedgehog is when they hit your hull. Yeah, perforating your hull, yep.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, I hope that they are aware of that. The developers, I mean, they're doing a great job. I wouldn't complain about anything. The game's great, but yeah, this is actually one issue which is pretty much on mid and late gameplay. So I would like to have them adjust that a bit about the hedgehogs. They might still be terrifying weapons, but yeah, just like they are right now, you don't hear them being fired, you don't hear them hitting the surface. That just feels a bit unfair. They just don't give up.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
Yeah,
Wir wissen, wie es geht.
let
Den
them
Schuss
do.
gegen diese Jäger und
So they gave him a lot of holes, but he would just drop on the seabed. I understand. Yeah. Yeah, okay, and when you get like, some holes in the hull, you get water in, but yeah, you can handle it when there is a seabed to stop you from sinking into unfathomable depths. Yeah, after all that time, all the torpedoes are unmaintained. But yeah, it doesn't matter
Große Gruppe.
because down here
100 Grad.
we can't actually apply the torpedoes. And yeah, still having something like 5 escorts cruising
Schraubengeräusch.
above us. We really don't dare to get to the surface, and it's not worthwhile because the convoy has passed by since long.
Kommandant, feindliche Schiffe geben Alarm.
bleibt wachsam. Aber keine Panik. Wir machen das schon.
Yeah, we are still turning at flank speed. Yeah, that sound of the pressure working on the hull.
Kommandant, wir wurden von SD geortet.
Yeah. We are detected.
Fahrt voraus.
Let's reduce speed again. Hey, come on, sooner or later they have to leave us alone. Yes, not in real life, yeah. I mean, I'm fascinated by that technology of submarines. Yeah, you're right, sooner or later they should run out of depth charges. They have dropped so many already. Yeah, well, I mean, me for myself, when I was younger, I actually did dinghy sailing. Really went to regattas, races with the dinghy. That was on lakes. But I also did 2 wonderful holidays with my uncle, who owned a little yacht. Like, I mean, if I say my uncle owned a yacht, you might think he was a rich guy, but he actually wasn't. He was just a worker, but he kind of, when he was still relatively young, he bought just a steel hull of a yacht, and actually, yeah, he was quite some kind of a craftsman, so he did all the building up of that ship on the hull by himself. All the interior and all the rigging and everything that he did by himself. So, yeah. Beautiful little ship. No plastic. It was actually a steel hull. Pretty small for a steel hull, but it was a very decent ship. And yeah, I spent 2 holidays with him in the Netherlands, and once we actually crossed the channel to the UK. That was great, and I often feel reminded to that by this game. I mean, the waves and the boat cutting through the waves and all that.
Jetzt bereit.
Bleibt wachsam.
Really now and then reminds me
Wir machen das schon.
of that
Kommandant, wir wurden
great time that I had with my uncle. Yeah, he was actually a, how would you call it, a learned sailor. When he was something like 15, he did an apprenticeship, and after that went to sea for something like 2 years. But then he kind of found out that it's not a good idea to make your hobby your profession, and he came back to our hometown and did some, yeah, kind of classical job there. But yeah, he was kind of a sailor.
Kommandant, wir wurden von SD geortet.
Still up there. Yeah, let me remember. Next time they're passing by right above us, we are going to turn on the pump. We need to get rid of the water again. All right. Propellers right above us. So this is the opportunity to turn on the pumps, to go flank speed, change course, to get away underneath them. They wouldn't hear it anyway, because their own propeller would hopefully mask all our noises. I really wonder whether we are gonna get away from that.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estig geortet.
Yeah, we are. But what can we do?
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Lenzpumpe ausschalten.
Let's turn off the pump again. Let's go back to silent running. Who's gonna turn off the pump, please?
Lenzpumpe ausschalten.
Yeah, we still have something like 50 liters in the bilge. Yeah. Our chief engineer, Mr. Grad, is gonna get tired sooner or later, and our first radio man is gonna get tired as well, sooner or later.
Die Schiffe machen sich gefechtsbereit.
Yeah,
Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden.
can't be helped. We have to get through that. Hey, Aquicing! Nice to have you in. Oh, they are straight right above us again. Let's change course. Let's turn on the pump. Ah, no. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Happy hunting. Yeah, thank you for that, Aquicing. Actually, at the moment I'm not so much hunting, but I'm more being hunted. Yeah, it would be great if they would take a coffee break up there. How are you doing? Happy hunting. How was your week up to now? We are almost through, just Friday ahead. Yeah, same for me. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't stream last night because this morning I had to get up pretty early, so we had some kind of, brainstorming session with the colleagues, and that went on pretty well this morning. So at the moment I'm quite satisfied about how my co-workers are kind of up to, at the moment looks like we are forming quite a nice team and getting some things rocked. So I'm fine with the family just as well. Spent a nice evening and, well, now all the family went to bed, and like I used to do it, it's a little bit of a late night stream.
Eine Fahrt voraus. Lenzpumpe ausschalten. Ventilation ausschalten.
So please do, guys. Hey Jimbo, what do you mean by throw out some tea? Ah, again, come on. Do you think we should try to drop a pill? We do have the pill launcher installed, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure that this is actually helping much usually. Yeah, I am. I was beautifully in front of a convoy in a perfect attack position to infiltrate it, but then it turned out that there were loads of escorts and they quickly chased me down.
Große Gruppe. Peilung 145 Grad.
The music. I don't know if it's British guys up there. I mean, if they're American, they might just not mind the tea bags, would they? So guys, now please somebody turn off the ventilation. This is weird because this sometimes just doesn't work. Would somebody please turn off the ventilation? Thank you very much. So I think we wasted a few of the filters because now we are back to 100%. Yes. A lot of coffee. I have a bit of coffee actually. I have more coffee than tea. Just don't get away like that. Do we get the opportunity to check? What's going on up there? Captain Jimbo, I don't think so. I never had any opportunity to use the helmet and the rifle. I think it's kind of a relic in the game. No idea what it should be good for. Okay, maybe I'm getting away sooner or later. It's just these two guys over there pretty far away. That guy pretty close. So it's just at at the moment just 3 guys, maybe only 1 guy. I am improving. They are leaving me alone one by one, and now it's looks like it's maximum 3 ships still going after me up there. Yeah, Captain Jimbo, I would be very curious what the gun and the helmet should be good for.
Schraubengeräusche direkt über uns.
Ah, okay. Okay, interesting. If you put them on the gun, they would be better safe. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, never actually tried that. Never tried that. Ping, ping, ping. Wouldn't they just leave me alone sooner or later? Okay, yeah, aqua icing. I wasn't aware that this would actually do some difference.
Schraubengeräusche direkt über uns.
No, I didn't give the save for a while. W332. Here we are. Yeah, my gunner would actually be Mr. Schultz.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, should I give it to him instead of the breathing apparatus then? Maybe. Yeah, and this is what I don't see. I don't see any difference when you're boarding ships if you have a helmet equipped and a gun equipped. I think it just doesn't make any difference there. Yeah, have the captain at gunpoint, but yeah, still, I think on boarding it just doesn't make a difference. I usually equip the gun and the helmet to one of the boarding guys, but I have no idea if it makes any difference. Yeah, aqua icing, but what difference does it make? Again.
Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 105 Grad.
Yeah, but aqua icing, did you ever have a trap? I've been playing the game now since quite a many years and I never ran into a trap. I actually don't think that there is something like a trap being implemented in the game. I always thought it might be something like that, but yeah, you do. I often try to board ships, and I did board a lot of ships, and there was never ever something like a trap. But yeah, that was what I thought, and it would be nice if there would be something like that in the game. still going hard on me.
Kommandant, wir wurden von Estik geortet.
Yeah, we are still being pinged. They are still up there chasing us. Come on, everybody, fingers crossed that they would just leave us alone sooner or later. Yep. That's what I used to do, sink it with explosives. Or if you have the proper skill with one of your engineers, they can scuttle the ship without using explosives. Yeah, but now it's getting pretty late. It's 2:30 around here. So I don't have to get up that early, but I still have to do some jobs tomorrow. So thank you guys very much for joining. It was a pleasure to have you in, and I'm looking forward to see you again. And yeah, I'm gonna do another session of U-Boat tomorrow. And would be great to have you in again. Aqua Icing, have a good night. Captain Jimbo,
Wir wurden von Estik geortet.
have a good night as well. Decoy, German, also great to have had you in. Batman, if you're still there, thanks a lot for the follow. And yeah, of course, particularly thanks to Captain Jimbo for doing that raid. Weight loss, if you're still there. Also have a good night. And GP up, if you are still there, just the same for you. Have a good night. It was a pleasure to have you. He will, yeah, probably. So let's finish this one. And then give it a final save. I think there is some ads upcoming. So let me just get away here out of that hail of death charge, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Maybe during the upcoming ads. Bye bye, guys. It's always hard, like when you have so many people joining the stream, and then call it a day. So guys, thanks for joining. It would be a pleasure to have you, but yeah, you should drop in something like at least an hour earlier, because around here now I'm from Europe and it's 2:30. And although, yeah, I don't have to get up that early, I still have to work tomorrow, and I have to call it a day. Nevertheless, great to have you in, guys. Have a good one. And let's give it a save. And let's call it a day. Bye bye.